WLYR 93.0 is the station, that's what's up. Samurai Panda Sports is the show, and we about to cut it up now. Well. Week 1 is in the books, everybody, and what a wild week it was. Now listen, I'm a Steelers fan first and foremost, and even though my team got smacked up and down the field on Sunday, I am not any of the New York teams. That goes for the Bills, that goes for the Jets, and that goes for the Giants. Certainly the Giants.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
But there was a game last night. Let's go over that game real quick. Vikings and Eagles last night. The Vikings, Kirk Cousins, he can throw the football. The Jets should probably go get Kirk Cousins, probably. No, Kirk Cousins can throw the football. Justin Jefferson did his thing. We know the offense is there. The defense did a good job of containing Philly. They just don't know how to stop the run, apparently. But Vikings has a good offense. We all know that. It's just, you can't turn the ball over 4 times and expect to win the game. Flip it over to the Philadelphia Eagles. Their offense looked a little slow to start, and their defense got torched in the secondary. Kirk Cousins had almost 400 yards, but DeAndre Swift ran his ass off. They ran all over it. They had 250 plus rushing yards on the Vikings. They ran all over them. I'm not concerned about the passing offense. I think they'll get it together. It's a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Things are just starting to click. It's week 1. Relax. I'm sorry, week 2. It's okay. They'll get it together. They'll get right. Now, fast forward to week 2. First up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Raiders. Jimmy G looked formidable. Game manager, 200 yards exactly. He didn't lose the game, but he didn't wow me either. Josh Jacobs was bottled up thanks to Denver's defense, but I feel like he might get a little bit more yardage this time. The Raiders defense is still a question mark, and Jimmy G, I'm just not sold on. Flip it over to the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is the new Brett Favre. I'm calling it right now. Josh Allen is the new Brett Favre. Ever since Dayball left, he has just regressed completely. Still need a rushing attack. The defense was okay, still pretty good. It's just Josh Allen can't turn the ball over 4 times a game and expect to win. I do have the Bills winning this one straight up. The over-under is 46.5. Take the under. I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored. Bills by 8.5. Yeah, more like Bills by 5. I'm not a betting expert, by the way. I just like making bets. Fast forward, we have the Chicago Bears visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucks, they won last week against Minnesota. Wasn't pretty. Baker did have to do some last minute heroics, but they got the win. I'm just not sold on the defense, and they still can't run the damn ball. I don't understand what their issue is with running the ball, and I'm not sold on the offense either. Nothing looked pretty last week, but they got the win. Flip it over to Chicago. Yeah, y'all talked a lot of shit, Bears fans, and y'all did that right. I'm not sold on Justin Fields yet. Y'all need a better O-line. He's running for his life out there. Defense got some holes in it. Y'all got some building to do in the draft this year, because y'all might finish at the bottom of the division. More wins than last year, but bottom of the division still. As far as the odds go, I got the Bucks winning this one straight up, mainly because they're at home and their defense is a little bit solid just because of all the vets. The over-under is 41.5. I'm taking the under on this one. I just don't see a lot of points being scored. And the Bucks by 3. I'll take the spread. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Atlanta Falcons. The Packers looked incredible last week. Jordan Love looked pretty dang good, and that's without Christian Watson. Jordan Love looked good. The running game is still there, even though Aaron Jones is hurt. Please come back, Aaron Jones, because I need you on fantasy. Green Bay looked good, and that defense, they held up. They got a pick 6 last week. The defense is actually pretty legit. Switch it over to the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta, they got the win last week as well. Bijan Robinson looks legit. That defense, all that money well spent. All that money well spent. I'm just not sold on Ritter yet. Need to see a little more. He looked okay last week, but they did a lot of running last week. Let's see if Ritter can air it out. We'll see what happens here. Now, as far as my picks, I got the Packers winning this one, pulling off the upset. Just think they have a slightly better roster than Atlanta does. Over and under is 40.5. I will take the over, but slightly. Falcons by 2. Nope. Next up, we have the Colts visiting the Texans. A division showdown, AFC South. Kicking it off with the Texans. They got a lot of work to do. They're going to fight because that's just D'Amico. You know, that's just his coaching style. They're going to fight for sure. And that's why they gave the Ravens some trouble last week. I mean, Stroud didn't look bad. He just didn't look great either. Will Anderson looks good. Damian Pierce is still there, but they just got some holes they got to fill on that defense and on the O-line. I mean, CJ is getting killed out there. Switch it over to the Colts. They went toe-to-toe with Jacksonville. Anthony Richardson looks the part. I think they found their quarterback. You just got to pay Jonathan Taylor. Just pay JT for the love of football. Pay JT. And the defense, still legit, still solid. They can still keep them in games, keep it close, and Anthony Richardson and the offense can do the rest. You might need a couple more pieces on offense just to complement Michael Pittman, but I got the Colts winning this one for sure. Over and under is 39.5. I will take the over on that one because I think the Colts are going to score most of those points. And the Texans by 1 is the spread? What are they looking at? What are they looking at? I have no idea. Colts win this one. Take the over. Throw that spread out of there. I don't know what they're looking at. Next up, we got the Seahawks and the Lions. Now, the Seahawks, they didn't look good last week at all. Gino was just, I don't know. I guess he was just too worried about Aaron Donald. But the defense didn't look that good either. It just looked like a road team for some reason. But I see them bouncing back and just kind of clicking a little bit better here in this week. The Detroit Lions, they beat the Super Bowl champs last week. The defense looked good doing it. Jahmyr Gibbs looks good doing it. The offense is just going to get better. The Lions might be about it this year. They might make some noise this year. With that being said, this is two weird teams at Ford Field in a weird spot. So some crazy things are going to happen here. I got the Lions winning this one. The over and under is 47.5. I'm taking the over mainly because weird shit happens with both of these teams. Lions by 5. I say Lions by 2 or 3. Last minute field goal is going to win this one, but it's going to be a weird game. I anticipate a shootout. Low key game of the week right here. Low key game of the week right here. Next up, we have the Chargers visiting the Titans. The Titans. Ryan Tannehill is not it. Can we just move off of him, please? Ryan Tannehill is not it. He threw 3 picks. He's not the answer. The defense is still pretty solid, and Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. But y'all need more pieces than DeAndre Hopkins. But Ryan Tannehill is not it. What more do you need to see? He's not it. Switch it over to the Chargers. They lost a shootout versus Miami. They can't guard Tyreek, but no one really can. So, not faulting them for that. They had a really good rushing attack, though. Hopefully they carry that over into this game because they're going to need it and burn the clock off. So Derrick Henry sitting on the sideline. Hopefully that rushing attack comes back. I don't think it will, though. They're going to have to air it out. So we're going to see that air attack with Kellen Moore and Herbert. Just stop making dumb decisions. That's all I'm going to say. As a unit, just stop making stupid decisions. Chargers win this one straight up. Over and under is 45.5. I'm going to take the under on this one mainly because Tennessee is a stingy defense and they're at home. So this might be kind of a low scoring game a little bit, mainly because the Chargers just keep charging. Chargers by 3. Yeah, sure, why not? Next up, we got another division showdown, and this is a good one here. We got the AFC North battle. Ravens, Bengals. The Ravens didn't really look that great last year. Lamar only had like 150 something yards or something like that. J.K. Dobbins is out for the year. It's time to see this offense. 25 points, and that was kind of a struggle to get those 25 points against a shitty Houston team. I don't know. I don't know. Mark Andrews should be back this week, so we'll see what happens. But the Bengals, what the fuck was that last week? Seriously, what was that? What was that, guys? What was that? You guys okay? You guys good? Bro, you good? Is the money making you sick or something? What's going on, man? I told you Cleveland has Burrow's number. But the Bengals is still a solid football team. I think they'll bounce back this week for sure. I got the Bengals winning this one mainly because even though Burrow sucks against Cleveland, he's great against the Ravens. Don't know what that's about, but Bengals win this one just because Joe Burrow beats the Ravens all the time. But this will be a shootout in my opinion. Even though it's the AFC North division showdown, this might be a high-scoring game. I don't think defense is going to exist that much in this game. Over and under, take the over. Bengals by 3. I'm going to say Bengals by like 4 or 5. So take the spread for sure. But yeah, Bengals win. Next up, we have a rematch of the divisional round. We got the Chiefs visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars, I'm telling you, Calvin freaking Ridley is that dude. Jaguars, they look the part, man. That defense is just going to gel more. They had a really good week last week, a solid week last week. They're just going to get better and better and better. They're going to show up against the Chiefs because they did it last year, and they got more pieces. Jacksonville is legit. Flip it over to the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost last week, and they didn't really look good doing it. Now, they didn't have Kelsey, and they didn't have Chris Jones. Both of them are coming back this week for sure. It's just a matter of can they piece it together, and can the wide receivers catch a freaking ball? Can they do their job and catch a freaking ball? Maybe run the ball more a little, Andy. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, so this is going to be a good matchup for sure. However, You see that correctly. I got the Jaguars winning this one. Take the over and Jaguars win this one. At home, they pull off the upset. They beat the Chiefs and Jacksonville's going to put everybody on notice. Hey, we here. Duval, bitch. And moving on, we got the Niners visiting the Rams. Another divisional showdown. Here we go. The Niners beat the shit out of my Steelers. The Niners look legit. We know this. The Niners look good. The defense is legit. CMC is CMC. Brock Purdy doesn't look like he hurt his elbow at all. And that was the main concern coming in, is how will Purdy look? He looked pretty purdy.
Ha ha, very funny, motherfucker.
Switch it over to the Los Angeles Rams. Now, everybody thought that the Rams were going to suck this year. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think McVay is going to coach this team up. Matt Stafford looked great last week, throwing to not Cooper Kupp, but to Tutu Atwell and Pico de Gallo. I'm going to call him Pico de Gallo. And they actually had a good running attack as well. So, and the defense is still the defense. I mean, you know, Aaron Donald is still scaring the shit out of people. This is going to be a pretty back and forth game, in my opinion. Niners are going to pull away. I don't think by 7 though, so don't take the spread on this one. I feel like it's going to be like 4 or 5, but take the over on this one. I feel like some points are going to be put up on the board here. Despite the Niners defense and the Rams defense, I feel like some points are going to be scored. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the under. Yeah, take the under. I just thought about it. I feel like Aaron Donald and Bosa are going to get like a critical sack. They're going to put some pressure. This might be closer than we think. Next up, we have, this game just doesn't look pretty. The Giants visiting the Cardinals. The Cardinals put up some fight last week. I was actually pretty impressed, as I'm sure a lot of us were. I just don't think it's much. You're not going to be able to go to toe-to-toe with, like, you know, some juggernaut teams. I mean, this is the Giants we're talking about. We saw what happened last week with them. But could the Cardinals pull off the upset? They actually could. I feel like they might. They almost did last week, but I feel like they're just riding the wave here, the tank wave. Flip it over to the Giants. Yo, y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all got to turn this thing around, man. It's bad when your coach is literally staring at the field like, what the fuck is happening right now? That was the Giants last week. If y'all don't turn this around, that Daniel Jones contract is going to look like the stupidest contract in NFL history. I'm not kidding. I got the Giants winning this one simply because they have a better roster and Saquon is there. So take the under on this one. I don't see a lot of points being scored. Giants by 4, more like Giants by 1. It's just, I don't see a lot of points in this one. Giants win barely. Next up, we got the Jets versus the Cowboys. Moment of silence for the Jets. All right, thank you. We know the defense is good. We saw that last week. We know the skill player positions are there. It's all about Zach. All about Zach. They got the win last week, but we saw what Dallas did, which brings me to Dallas. That defense is scary. Micah Parsons is scary. It's just scary. There's a lot of scary. It's scary. It's a lot of scary. One thing I will touch on though, besides Tony Pollard, that offense just did not look that great. It just didn't look good. So maybe they will bounce back and look a little better this week because they're going to need to versus this defense here. I got the Cowboys winning this one. Cowboys by 9. Don't take the spread because I'm calling this right now. I feel like this is going to be a slugfest. Dallas is going to struggle because they struggled last week against the Giants, and I will take the under mainly because this is going to be a defensive battle. The Cowboys win, they edge it out, maybe by a field goal. Next up, we have the Commanders versus the Broncos. The Broncos, another game, another 16 points, another loss. I don't understand this team. The defense is there. The defense is solid enough to keep them in games. It's just the offense. Is it Russ? Is it just lack of skill players? Is it the O-line? I don't understand what it is, but they need to figure it out and fast, really fast. Flip it over to the Commanders. Now, they won the game, but it wasn't pretty, but there's some flashes there. The defense is legit, even without Chase Young. Now, as far as the offense goes, I like how there were some pieces there. Let's just hope they piece it together and gel a little more. Week 1 is always weird. So I got the Commanders winning this one, pulling off the upset, mainly because I feel like Denver's going to score 16 points again. and they're going to lose because of that. 38.5. I will take the over. I feel like this is going to be like, they're going to score like right at 40. Like it's going to be like a 20-17. Oh no, that's 37. Stupid. I can't math. Yeah, take the under. Next up, we got the Sunday night game. We got the Dolphins visiting the Patriots. The Dolphins. Tua showed off. I'm telling you, when Tua is in the lineup and he's healthy, this offense cannot be stopped. Tyreek Hill had 215 yards last week. The defense was good enough, and they're probably going to get better as the season goes on. But the Dolphins, the offense, just as we anticipated, looks legit. Tua is legit. Flip it over to the Patriots, though. It's Belichick and that defense. And this is going to be an interesting matchup because I want to see how Belichick handles this offense. Now, Belichick has never beaten Tua. As far as the Patriots offense goes, they look 10 times better than last year. Any game last year. And Mac Jones looks like he's a rookie again. But I got Miami winning this one, mainly because I think the offense is just a tad too much for the defense. Just a tad. Maybe a last second touchdown, maybe a last second field goal. So Dolphins by 3, 46.5. That's a little high in my opinion. I'm gonna take the under on this one, mainly because it's in Foxborough. Then we have the Monday night slate. Saints visiting the Panthers. The Saints. Derek Carr looked pretty good last week. Over 300 yards. Expecting a little more scoring, honestly. But I feel like that was just week 1. Tennessee also has a stout defense, as well as New Orleans. New Orleans defense is pretty stout as well. I do like Derek Carr, though. This looks like this is going to be a nice fit for him. Switch it over to the Panthers. I like the defense. I don't like the O-line, and I don't really like Bryce Young. I'm just not sold on Bryce Young. Don't know what it is about it. Is it his size? Is it the O-line? I don't know what it is, but he didn't look good at all for the number 1 pick. And I feel like they are seriously going to regret the decision of not getting Stroud. I think Stroud would fit better in this offense, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just sitting in a room. But I got the Saints winning this one on the road. Saints by 3. Yes, I think the defense is just going to do just enough to keep them in the game. Saints will pull away. Maybe we'll even win by like 5 or 7. Over under is 39.5. What? Let's talk about 40 points here. I'll take the over. It's probably going to be like 42 points. Just barely. Last, certainly not least, my Steelers take on the Cleveland Browns at home yet again. All right, my Steelers. What in the blue fuck was that? Matt Canada, what the fuck was that? You call that an offense? We had 1 yard in the first half until we scored. 1 yard. What do you mean? What do you mean? Not to mention the defense, secondary mainly. Pat Pete, you said you read Purdy like a book. Apparently he read you like a book because you got smoked the entire game. Ayuk had 2 touchdowns on your head. So the next time you want to say something, can you please back it up, please? Cleveland. I told you they have Burrow's number. They got Burrow's number. That defense is solid as always. Jim Schwartz is going to run the hell out of that defense. Nick Chubb looked good. Deshaun, he didn't look all that great to me. There were some glimpses of his athleticism in his legs, but I'm just not sold. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look great. You are looking at the screen correctly. I do have my Steelers winning this one. 38.5. Yeah, right. Take the under. It's an AFC North dogfight. Yeah, Browns by 2.5. Fuck you. Fuck Cleveland. Steelers win this one because we're going to the Super Bowl. All right, we're going to bounce back this week and we're going to beat Cleveland because fuck Cleveland. Fuck you. Fuck Cleveland. Browns by 2.5. Whatever. Fuck you, Cleveland. Anyway, I'm not mad at all. Those are your week 2 predictions and your picks and your odds and all that stuff. Appreciate you guys watching the recaps on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. Appreciate you checking out the channel. The Symphonic Joyrides will be back. I did not forget about them. It's just NFL is crazy and this week was wild. So, Symphonic Joyrides will be back. I did not forget about them. But this is Lyricist the Kid signing off. And we out. Oh yeah, meant to say, today's jam of the day, as you can tell, Them Changes by Thundercat. Meant to say that.